Good afternoon, I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Nathan Kolk with Parkway Subaru in Wilmington, North Carolina, and online at meyouandsubaru.com. Today I have the 2020 Subaru Outback with me, and it's an exciting car because it's a fresh remodel. Subaru typically remodels vehicles every 5 years, and the Outback's on the 2010, 2015, 2020 cycle. So not only is it built on the new Subaru Global platform, which gets you a smoother, quiet, more efficient ride, but it's loaded up with new features. Today I'm going to go over the exterior and interior new design elements as well as the new features. Not only am I going to show you that they exist, but I'm going to show you how to use them. So if you've recently picked one up, this will be a great resource for you to learn how to use your new car. I'm going to start with an external walk around of the 2020 Outback. As we look at the front end, a couple quick things. Now all Outbacks have standard LED steering responsive headlights, though the limited and touring trim level gets you the high beam assist as well. We come on down here, we have the LED fog lights for the first time. They've had fog lights in the past, but they were typically halogen. And you notice the silver bar on the front end of it. So on the base, premium, and Onyx edition, that is a black bar, but on the limited and touring, it is a chrome finish. On the Onyx and the touring edition, you also have a 180-degree front-facing camera that is located just underneath the Subaru symbol. And the grille has also been slightly redesigned from the previous years. We'll move around to the side. You'll notice that the wheels, though they are still the 18-inch alloy wheels, they have a slightly new design that looks pretty cool. The theme that they came up with when they were designing this is called Active and Tough, and you'll see elements of that throughout the car. They've added a standard wheel arch molding. This used to be about a $250 accessory. We come along the side, this side underguard, they say it's supposed to resemble a hiking boot, once again going along with that Active and Tough theme. And then I'll point out something on the crossbars and roof rails. So they've always had the crossbars that kind of swing out automatically, but now they've added a tie down point on all the models. So if you're tying something down, it makes it just a little bit easier to put things on the roof of your car. Moving along to the rear, we'll notice the taillights are slightly different. They have a black kind of plastic piece around them. Just looks a little bit sportier, a little bit sharper design. And on the back side of it, you notice we still have that chrome underguard, which is black on the base, premium, and Onyx edition. This is the limited trim level, as I mentioned, so it also has reverse automatic braking. It's easy to identify which Subarus have reverse automatic braking if you just look for the little black circles on the back side of the car. One new feature that they added for the 2020 model is a hands-free power rear gate. So it's available as an upgrade on the premium. It's standard on the Onyx, the limited, and the touring. And so to activate it, as long as you have the key close by, put your hand about 2 inches from the Subaru symbol. It'll beep and then open up. You notice as it's opened up that it opens up a little bit quicker than the previous generation, and so we now have these beefed up struts that open and close it. They're also a little bit smarter. So previously, if you had a power rear gate and someone pulled on the gate, it would kind of mess with the motors, but now it's a little bit smarter and it'll just continue to close. While we're looking up here, you'll notice these buttons. Previously, we had this button to close the rear gate, but you now have a button where you can press the lock button, so it shuts it and then locks it so you can just walk away. If you pull it, it just continues to shut. It is the same keyless access key fob that we've had in the past, but just to overview it, when you have the key in your pocket, you can put your hand in the door handle to unlock the door, and you can press the 2 lines on the door right there to lock it, so you don't ever have to get your key out. Those lines are also on the front passenger side as well. So once again, to get in it, put your hand in the door handle, you hear it beep and it unlocks. You can also set up this key fob to remember your seat position as you have in the past. You set your position using the adjustments down here, and then you press the set button on the door along with the blue Subaru button at the same time, and it will set your position to the key fob. But another new feature that they've added is the driver focused distraction mitigation system. And that's this little strip here. It was first introduced on the 2019 Subaru Forester, but what it does is it can remember your face, and you can set up a driver profile to remember your seat position, your mirror position, and phone connection. It's also used if you are distracted while you're driving or dozing off, it will alert you and keep you alert. So we will set that up in just a little bit. But first, we're going to start up the car, and to do that, you put your foot on the brake and press the button. We'll first go over a couple of the new design changes that they did. First and foremost is the center display. It's a new 11.6-inch multimedia plus display. There aren't a ton of new features, but what they've done is they've eliminated a lot of buttons that were physical buttons that were in the car and put them in this display here, and we'll go over those in just a little bit. Moving along this side, there's a little shelf that you can put a phone on the passenger side. You can also see the changes in the vents, the air conditioned vents. There's one there, there's one there, and over on this side as well. Moving on down, this area just below the display is slightly different as well. The electronic parking brake is moved up here. To use this electronic parking brake, you pull it to engage it, and then you'll get a little red light. To disengage it, you put your foot on the brake and press it down. Or if your seatbelt's on and you put the car in drive, you hit the gas pedal and it will automatically release. The storage compartment is here. There's also an available wireless charging accessory. When you put that in there, it takes up most of the space, but you can slip your phone in there and it will charge your phone. Moving on down here, the shifter is very similar, and now the cup holders are horizontally oriented rather than vertically oriented in the previous model. Let's begin by going over the driver profile setup in this display. You hit the little person icon in the bottom corner. You hit Add, English, driver name, so my name is put in there. I'm gonna go to phone. If I had paired my phone, you would select your phone there, and that's how it knows to connect your phone, and then it finished. So that's the first step in setting up the driver profile. From there, you're gonna go to settings, scroll over to car, go to driver monitoring system, register user, driver A. So this is the user that we are selecting so that it remembers your phone connection. Register user information, adjust the seat and door and mirror position, then press set. And then you face forward. And you hear a beep, and now user 1 is registered. And I can make a name for myself. I'll just do driver A and hit next, and then select the vehicle icon and hit set. Hello, driver A. And it'll say your name or whatever you type each time you get in the car. When you get in, it will scan your face with the driver focus system, and it'll greet you on this center display here. Now we'll quickly go over the climate control system. This section will always be your climate control. It never goes away. There are a couple physical buttons. You can adjust the temperature for the driver here and for the passenger over here. You have the front defrost and the rear defrost are the only physical buttons for climate control. If you'd like to use the screen to adjust the temperature, you just tap the number, and you'll get the driver seat configuration where you can drag this up and down to adjust the temperature. You can synchronize both sides, so if they're two different temperatures, you can make them both be the same, and you can do the heated seats as well. This middle section, once you select it, you can see the displays up here, change where the air is blowing, adjust the fan speed, and it goes up for about 5 seconds and then goes away, as you've noticed there. Though you can adjust the fan speed from this menu here just by touching it. And then the right side is the same as the left there. Continuing with the display, one of the things that I think this larger display is most helpful for is the navigation system. So when you have the navigation, you have this normal kind of screen size, but you can hit this button here to go full screen, which fills up the entire screen other than for the climate control, which, remember I said, is always there. The first thing that I always do when I get in a car is I'm going to change the orientation of the map. So I'm going to press this to go to the north up. This is a 3D north up. You can press it again, you get a 2D north up. Press it a third time and you'll get the north up rather than the direction up. They've updated the system and the maps that they use to make them a lot easier to use. If you're searching for a new destination, you can either hit the search icon here, or you can go down the bottom left and hit menu, and then go to search. If you know the exact address, you can either type it here, but if you're looking for a business name and you don't know the address to it, you press point of interest, and you can type Costco, or you can type any kind of business name. Though I have noticed sometimes for small businesses, local businesses, it doesn't pull up absolutely everything. So you select Costco, it loads it up. If this is a destination that you go to frequently, you can hit these 3 little stars and you can hit add to favorites, or you can search near here. Otherwise, you press go. And then you have a status bar on the right that shows you how far you are from your destination and where any fuel stops might be along the way. So I'm going to end this route. You can also touch this screen. You can do pinch to zoom that way. You can double tap to go a little bit closer. A couple other menu items. You can add your home address, recent destinations, favorites, alternate routes, parking, gas station, and then map legal information there. The radio is very similar to what it was before. Let's make sure we're not blasting. This is your volume knob, and so you can scroll there, or you can press it once to mute it. The right knob is going to tune your radio stations. So I'm on Sirius XM right now, so you can just tune that. Once you find a channel that you like, you press and hold it, and it saves it as a favorite. We also have some radio controls on the left side of the steering wheel. So you got your volume in the middle. This is the same setup that we've had in the past 2 years. Your volume in the middle. The left and right arrows will scroll between your favorites that you have set up on the display. The source will change your audio source from AM to FM to Sirius XM. And then your voice controls you can use to change the radio station, along with a number of other things. Back over to the display. Just like previously, they have separate buttons for the radio and for media. So we pressed radio. Now media is going to consist of your Bluetooth if you use your phone for Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever. You can have a USB. You can plug into the USB ports down below. You can go to iPod or iPhone if you plug those in directly, and then there's an aux as well. We do not have a device connected, so there is nothing playing here. The phone is also set up similarly. There is no phone connected, but once you do, it will load your recents, favorites, phone books, and even messages. There's no connected device once again. Under apps, you have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as long as the My Subaru and Travel Link. So Travel Link will get you your fuel prices, your sports scores, your stock information, your weather alerts, and even parking spots. So this is the current location. You can go current down at the bottom. You have current 3 to 6 hour and 5-day forecast, or along the route that you're going. So we don't have a destination in the navigation, so there is no route loaded. This top display will always be showed here. So I will go over a few of its options. You can see the 5 little lines below. Those are the different pages that are available. Starting with X mode. If you're not familiar with X mode, it's kind of like an off-road mode that prevents you from getting stuck if you're in an off-road situation. This will show you your weather information from Travel Link that we just went over. This is called your triple meter. So you have how hard you're accelerating, your real-time fuel economy, and the angle of the road that you're on. This is showing you navigation information. If I were on an actual road, it would show you where you are. And then it has whatever is playing on the radio. So this is just radio information, or if your phone is plugged in, it'll give you information about the music that you're listening to there. The settings menu can be kind of complicated. That is where a lot of new things have changed. I'm going to do a brief overview for you, starting from the far left, which is the general. Under general, you can turn on and off the welcome screen where it just says welcome when you get in the car. You can add widgets on the display if you wanted to have a radio station or a navigation destination as a widget. You can update that. System information. Under sound, this is where you can adjust the audio, the EQ, the sound position, and then adjust the individual volume for different aspects of the car. So if you want the navigation guidance to be lower, along with your ringtone volume, incoming call volume, and voice volume, navigation information. You can take a look at that. Most of it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's just a matter of remembering where things are. Under phone is where you would manage devices to add a new device and phone book, messages, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Radio, you can adjust different things in here. Do you want the HD radio turned on? And then under car, you have your Eyesight settings, your Eyesight Assist monitor. What that is there's a little light on the display straight ahead that will light up to give you indication of if you are doing lane departure warning, if it sees the car in front of you, or if it's about to apply the emergency braking. Also here you have reverse automatic braking. Do you want to turn that on, and do you want it to beep at you? The driver monitoring system is where we went over to set up the display here to remember your seat position and mirror position. Keyless entry system, defogger, auto door lock and unlock, auto vehicle hold. And then the highly debated auto start stop. So this is where that menu is to turn that off. You do have to turn it on and off for each individual time you get in the car. That is where you come up to a stoplight and your engine shuts off. Then you release the gas pedal and it starts the engine back up. The reason Subaru uses that is because the reason a lot of manufacturers are going that direction is because it saves fuel economy, and it is good for the environment as well, and it doesn't put too much extra wear and tear on other aspects of your car. The blind spot and rear cross traffic alert you can turn on. There's another way to turn on and off the X mode, steering responsive headlights. A couple other new features. They previously had the heated steering wheel only on the Touring trim level. It is now available on the Limited as a part of the upgraded package 34. And so that is implemented there. And that gets you the built-in navigation system, the driver assist, driver focus distraction mitigation system, and the heated steering wheel. You have got those buttons there. Underneath the left side of the steering wheel, we always get a lot of questions about how to use these. It controls the center display. Let me zoom in on it again so I can show you how some of these features work. So you can use the up and down arrow to scroll between these menus at the top. So it can show your individual tire pressure units, how long the auto start stop function has been activated, so 58 seconds, and this person saved 0.009 gallons. How long the car's been running and how far you've traveled since the car's been turned on. Your fuel economy since you have left for your trip, and your miles to empty. Your average miles per gallon and your miles to empty. Outside time and temperature. And then you're now playing on the radio, and then just a blank display and a compass. So I have to scroll through those. The Eyesight is essentially the same. It's based off of these two cameras that are on either side of the rear view mirror. The primary function is automatic emergency braking. If I put this car in drive and try and hit that tree, it would slam on the brakes before I got there. This is the Limited trim level and has the reverse automatic braking as well. So that's the same thing going backwards. I'm going to go ahead and put the car in reverse just to show you. You can see where it says RAB on, and the parking sensors, someone has turned them off. But as I get close to something, you will see markers on here that show you that you're getting closer, and they will beep at you as well if you have the reverse automatic braking. The blind spot detection is the little light in the mirror that lights up if there's a car in your blind spot. Rear cross traffic alert is if you are backing up and don't see a car coming perpendicular to the back of your car, it will beep at you, and both of the blind spot detection lights will illuminate and flash at you. What they've changed has to do on the steering wheel here. So we've had the adaptive cruise control where you set your cruise. It shows up on the display. I'll toggle it a couple times. And then you pull this to set your speed. So say you set it at 60 miles an hour and the person in front of you slows down to 50. It will slow you down to 50 automatically. If they get out of the way and it speeds you back up. You can even use this in stop and go traffic. It will slow down and speed it up automatically. But the two buttons on either side here will increase and decrease the distance that you are tracking the car in front of you. You can see the lines moving forward and backwards on the center display there to indicate the distance that you are keeping. They also have the lane departure warning that beeps if you swerve out of your lane, and lane keep assist, which is if you get too close to the edge of the lane, it will beep at you and even correct your steering to pull you back. So one thing I want to show you with that, under this Eyesight settings, the lane departure prevention function, you can have it set up to only beep at you, or you can have it set to only correct your steering, or you can have it do both functions or none of the functions. So that is on all the time by default. What they have changed is a new feature called lane centering, which is this button right here. So when you press it, it shows up on the center display right here. And when you have your cruise set, that will eventually turn green when it sees the lanes in the road, or if it can track a car in front of you. So if you're driving down the highway, it will actually pull your steering wheel around a turn, left or right, and keep you in the dead center of your lane. Previously, if you relied upon the lane keep assist, you would kind of ping pong back and forth off the lanes, but now it actually keeps you in the center of your lane. And as long as you have your hands on the steering wheel, it will keep you in the center of the lane. If you take your hands off, it takes about 10 or 15 seconds, and then it will come up here and show you, hey, pay attention, put your hands back on the wheel. It recognizes if your hands are on the wheel on whether or not you are putting any kind of resistance against the automatic steering that it's implementing. A couple things I didn't talk about in the review of this specific one is what is now available in trim levels and in engine options. So previously they had the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, which got about 175 horsepower, but now they have the available 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that was in the Ascent and still is in the Ascent as the upgrade available. So that is available as an upgrade for the limited and the touring trim levels. Also introduced a new trim level called the Onyx Edition, which is kind of even more rugged and off-road capable with some really nice black finish alloy wheels and the StarTex upholstery that gets you more weather resistance and waterproof, so you can essentially pour some water on there and it won't do nearly as much damage as it would to cloth or leather. The Onyx also comes standard with a 180-degree front-facing camera, which is also available on the touring trim level. It's actually standard on both of those models. That is pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below, and do not forget to like and subscribe for this video. I'm probably going to produce separate ones for the premium trim level as well as the Onyx, because it's a really new, exciting car. Honestly, if I were getting a new Subaru today, it would probably be the Onyx Edition Outback. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment below with any more questions.